don't play much other like card games. The only one I've like truly kind of played is this one and Pokemon like slightly because that was like a combo format.
What about Flesh and Blood?
That I played one game of Flesh and Blood.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. Every card in your hand's a Simian Spirit Guide.
Yeah.
Until you cast it, and it's kind of cool. But, dude, could you imagine playing against Tron if they got to just like draw 4 lands and 3 cards? They would only have the Tron lands. They would have 12 lands.
Oh, jeez. Portable Hole the Monkey.
That's... You probably just Portable Hole the Monkey because you know it's not hitting literally anything else.
Well, can't Portable Hole hit the Hermit?
I mean, it can, but it's probably in the sideboard.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know about Brendan. He's rogue.
We have like 3 absorbs in TJ's hand, so that's cool.
3 is still not enough, right?
It's not great.
I mean, TJ's probably also going thick when he saw that Brendan had to mold a 5.
I mean, it's a pretty good mold of 5.
You might also have said, like, that's pretty good for me.
Yeah. Like,
or respectfully, that sucks for you.
Like, it's a pretty good mold of 5, but right now, Brennan's only got lands in hand. I don't know what that card is. I can't see it.
Which one?
One of the cards in Brendan's hand. I think it's still just lands, or it's either a land or a Lier, and I can't figure it out.
It's a Lier.
Yeah, that card, we call that one good.
Better than bad.
It is better than bad for sure. That is true. Ran down to a whopping 19 if my board will update. It did update. I'm just on the wrong game. Nice. Giovanni. Not. Thanks for the follow. Here, dude. You got animals at all?
Nah, dude, couldn't be me. I did get blood on it today.
That's brutal.
So I don't know how I'm gonna get that out.
Good thing it's on the sleeve.
Yeah.
Like up close, because you can kind of
like by a crease too. I should be able to get away with it.
I looked away from the game for a second, and now there's so much happening.
Brennan took his turn, played the monkey. TJ jammed a wanderer.
Oh, this is getting absorbed.
Yeah, for sure. Pretty sure TJ has this one locked up now.
If there is anybody that I'm prepared to see play control and beat Lotus Field down, it's probably going to be TJ.
The sheer number of hours.
And you say why? And I say because TJ has played Lotus Field for 3 years. It feels like
he's probably played that deck more than anyone else.
Yeah,
like just like not a hyperbole.
Like he's probably actually played it genuinely more than anybody else.
Anyone else total game time played, period.
Yeah. He played when Underworld Breach was a thing. That's all he played.
Mm-hmm. For a good reason.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But like again, that's all he played. And then proceeded to do the same thing later. Like I think his last big event that he went to that he played Pioneer in, he played Lotus Field.
Yep, Indy. Yeah.
The only other one that he didn't was here, and that was because of like he played that blue-red like taking turns one.
Yep.
But yeah, he knows what spells to counter and what not to counter, and that can sometimes be the issue when you're a control player, is like understanding
the tempo,
what's in Lotus Field's hand.
And also he's probably just so in tune with how that deck functions. It's like whenever Brendan is like going through his plays, he goes, oh, he missed a beat. Yeah. Like he knows the tune of the song so well. He's like, oh, wrong chord.
Yeah. Brendan's empty-handed.
Scry 1. Say go.
Faithful Absence on this is probably not going to happen. I don't think TJ wants to give him any more card draw if he doesn't have to. Brings down to 14. He's blocking there. He's taking 4.
And also, Faithful Absence doesn't really do a whole lot here since TJ is just sitting on Dovin's Veto, Absorb.
Yeah, like there's no reason to kill this 0-3. You just keep making creatures.
I'm pretty sure it's a land.
Copy of Field, we're probably going to Deluge.
Make it a copy of Ardenvale.
That makes sense. Again, probably not going to matter.
Correct.
Well, there's another Emperor going in the hand. So we could see this Emperor get, like, he might kill it to make another 2-2. Yeah, 14 or is he at 10? Because I see it 15. I think it's actually at 10.
Yeah. Yep, he was at 10. Goes down to 3.
Absorb it. TJ takes game 1. Actually, did you see the new Angel too? The 2-mana one that they made?
No.
Okay, so this one, in terms of mana dorks and what it does, it's actually kind of crazy. So it's a white and a colorless.
Okay.
It's
is it the legend?
Yeah. So it's a legendary creature.
Mm-hmm.
It has flying and vigilance. It's a 2/2. So it's a 2-mana flying vigilance creature. Angel.
All right, good block.
Each other angel you control enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on it for each angel you already control. So, like, it can just randomly be throwing 3 counters on creatures that you control, technically. But, because it has vigilance, it also has tap, add a white mana to cast an angel spell. So, it's also a mana dork for your angels.
That you can attack with.
So, you can hit them, and then post, like, combat, you can add a white mana.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I would call that one good. I would call that one good.
But yeah, we can play Grizzlebrand, right, chat?
Yeah, Lotus Field be kind of messed up.
Huh?
Lotus Field probably be messed up.
What do you mean?
Big guy said Lotus Field probably be messed up. Grizzlebrand was printed, and that's probably a good take. The only problem is, like, still just lose the aggro.
Still just lose the aggro.
Yeah.
Well, but I feel like...
isn't Velomachus the same thing? Or is it less?
No, Velomachus is less CMC. It's 7.
Ah, bro. It's 1 off because that deck that just flips out Velomachus, you just do that.
Yeah, you just Neoform out Velomachus off of your 6 mana cost Delve creatures. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Eldritch Evolution, though. You can Eldritch Evolution it.
I know. Just saying.
Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Just saying. Chat, hear me out though. How does the deck win with Grizzlebrand?
You don't. You lose. You lose, bro.
Exactly. See, that's fine. That's fine, right? Because like we'll figure out a way to win eventually.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. You might. You could just say, like, cast Peer into the Abysses. I'm going to be honest with you.
It's not as fun.
I would argue that it's equally as fun. To an extent.
I disagree.
You have Dismember?
What about it?
This is your protection spell when you're tapped out of mana. I'm just trolling.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, draw 14 cards and concede. Perfect.
Yeah, draw 14 cards and then realize you killed yourself.
Because there's no way for you to win in the game. No.
This is a big Teferi with probably Divin's Veto backup.
It is. But imagine if this was just a thought distortion, though, right?
It can happen. It's Divin's Veto backup or Narset's reversal backup. It's both. TJ just got him locked up. He's out here trying to bowl. 4. Oh, he literally does have it both. He literally has a Narset's reversal and a veto. Had a veto. He just top decks another one. That'd be so good.
Bro, TJ, his best advice to anyone ever is, quote, just cheat, end quote.
Yeah. I think my favorite part about that is, like, in paper he can't win, but online he does it all the time. This guy was like top 8ing like qualifiers and stuff, and then he would come to paper and 0-2 drop and go home and be sad. Or he'd go play poker, depending what location he was at.
Or sometimes he would just 0-2 drop, go home and play poker.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just true. You know he trolled me at the last 1K? He told me he 0-2 dropped. I was like, yo, how's it going 0-2? And he's like, always 0-2. And they top 8'd.
Yeah, he went 0-2 and ran it back.
Yeah, they lost to Rhinos. Karma came full circle and got his ass.
What other cards could Grizzlebrand play with?
I don't know.
And like Reanimator, right?
Why don't you just play like Soul Flare?
I won't play Grizzlebrand.
Soul Flare's so sick. I remember Jonathan brought Soul Flare at the beginning of Pioneer, and I didn't know what the card did. And he just all of a sudden grabbed 4 cards out of his graveyard and like tucked it under Soul Flare and was like, I'm exiling these ones. And I said, what's that mean? And it's like a Zootopia. Yeah. He's like, just the typical like nuts pile. Yeah. And I'm like, what's that do? He's like, it's a 4/4 with first strike, haste, lifelink, death touch, like just like all this shit. I'm just like, oh yeah, okay.
And then you're like,
also hexproof.
Yeah, like then you're like to the slaughter, and then they cry.
Yeah.
To the slaughter is a target opponent sacrifices a creature.
That'd be sick. Yeah. I didn't have that.
Oh.
I didn't have that at all, actually.
That Grease Fang? I don't know what Grease Fang uses.
Some card with cats on it. I don't know.
Sylvan Scrying?
It's like, I don't care about that. You got a guy in play. Am I supposed to counter that? How do you know if you have a good deck or you are a good player?
I would say that you are a good player if you're able to recognize the pitfalls that a deck has.
I wouldn't even say that. To know, like, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good, like, point. I think you're, like, correct.
Yeah.
I think one of the best ways to find out if you're a good player is you can identify what your opponent's on incredibly quickly in the game plan that they're trying to do. So, for example, if you see opponent play, like, a Misty and they fetch up a Teamer Triumph, what does that put them on?
You're probably looking at any of the Yorion piles.
Right.
And Teamer Rhinos.
Like, and Teamer Rhinos.
Teamer Scapeshift.
Like, so that's like an example. You see a Saga, you're like, artifacts this, and this, and then, or you see like a plain Cigar Aid. Obviously, that one's like a no-brainer. Yeah. That one's pretty free to figure out.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of times just being able to identify what your opponent's on very quickly and what is potentially in their hand based on how they're gathering their turns. One situation of that is like if you're playing against Blood Moon deck, noticing that your opponent's getting basics and kind of making, and you know that they play a lot of multicolored spells, so it's making it a little bit harder on themselves. That means, oh, I should be watching out for a Blood Moon and things like that, unless you have an answer. It's being able to identify what your opponent's doing more than anything is what makes you a good Magic player, in my opinion. But it's also better to be playing a tier 2 deck at its peak than playing a tier 1 deck suboptimally.
Yep. A good example of that is when I was playing Red Green Scapeshift. I knew the deck in and out, back of my hand, and it was still a tier 2 deck at the time.
Yeah.
And like I probably went like 65, maybe 70% in my games. And that's just because like I just knew the deck and knew what I was doing for the most part. And of course there's gonna be games where like, yeah, I just couldn't win there.
Yeah.
Like
also another way to get better at the game strictly is still get tilted. It's definitely hard when you're playing a game of variance and you know that you should have won that game, like you did everything right and you just couldn't draw well. I was like, that's too white. But just being able to understand that and oh my god, he did all of his mana, never mind. He has a Hermit in exile. I don't know if that's... Unless he played a second one.
Play the Narset.
Alright, so now you got to play through a Damping Sphere, a Narset, a Counterspell in TJ's hand, I think.
Not just one Counterspell.
Might even be another one. Well, what if I told you there's another one?
What if I told you that there's 3?
And lethal on board. Good luck. And it's all ogre. Yeah, they might have caught it. But TJ would have definitely probably caught that. Like he went to play it or something, he'd be like, nah, it's exiled. It's like one of the things where you just naturally put it in the graveyard and then when you go to pick it up, you're like, oh yeah, this was exiled earlier. But very nice. Very nice.